Okay, so about 2 videos ago I promised you all a video covering the Phanteks Enthoo Pro M acrylic, and that is what you're about to see. So when I first received this case in the mail, I was actually a bit shocked. It was larger in person than it appeared to be on Amazon and Newegg. The pictures made it look much smaller than it was in person. I was assuming this was supposed to be a standard, mid-size ATX tower. It's actually a bit larger than that. I was afraid that it wasn't going to fit in my little bookshelf back here. I didn't think it would be, short enough to fit underneath the top level there. But as you can probably tell, it does fit just barely. There's about an inch to give on the top and on the sides. So I'd say it's a perfect fit. The large acrylic side window, hence the name Phanteks Enthoo Pro M Acrylic, yes, it's a very, very long name, was the first feature that caught my eye, but that was probably because of the large piece of cardboard that was covering it. And it was sticky cardboard. I didn't think cardboard could be sticky, but they put some kind of adhesive in between the little cardboard layer and the acrylic itself. That was a pain to get off. But when you think about it, it's kind of cool that it was there because it basically meant that the glass wasn't going to be scratched. I'm going to say glass instead of plastic a few times in this video. Just ignore that. I mean acrylic, it's plastic, it's not real glass. But it looks pretty darn close to glass. A plastic sheet was also covering the inside of the panel. I will admit, the acrylic side panel does seem like an afterthought, and it was because the Enthoo Pro M had already existed for much longer than this variant has, but I don't mind the tedious assembly process. 4 flat screws hold the window into place. It is, however, much easier to assemble when it's laying on its side and not when it's standing up. Much harder to install that acrylic window when it's standing up. Take my word for it. Just take my word for it. Now the front side of the case is rather bare, save the large air intake grill up front, capable of supporting a 280mm radiator. And if you haven't noticed, the optical drive bay up top, yeah, that's also included, just for kicks and giggles. I don't know if you still use that or not. Do you still use an optical drive? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious how many of you actually still use one of those things. Staggered to the side are 2 USB 3.0 ports, a microphone jack, a headphone jack, and a hard disk drive LED and reset switch combo. Below the front I/O on both sides are slits for allowing airflow, though bear in mind that these are not dustproof in any fashion. The top features a very large and robust power button with a very short travel distance, and a top grille protected by a magnetic dust filter. It's definitely a cheap route, but it gets the job done. The left side, of course, features the large, crystal clear acrylic window, with the right side, which I'm not even going to bother showing you, being completely bare of any feature whatsoever. Through the window is a very visible Phanteks logo. I should have probably peeled off the protective plastic, and a large basement compartment. It's ventilated, plenty wide, and non-removable. The power supply rests in the back, and can only be inserted from the right hand side. No mounting bracket here. A dust filter, though, is included. Further up we find 7 PCI expansion slots, a large ventilation area for who knows what, probably just wasted space, and of course the rear I/O, and space for up to a 140mm radiator. Onto the inside front panel we find a large mounting bracket suitable for a tight 280mm radiator squeeze, and one of those 2 included 140mm Phanteks fans. The grill up front, as well as the openings in the back, make for ample airflow. To the right of the motherboard platform are 5 plastic plates, which can be removed to house any number of Phanteks optional storage brackets. None of these storage brackets are included, so thanks Phanteks. Regardless though, I don't personally care about showing off my hard disk drives, nor do I have enough of them to begin with, so all I did with these was paint them white to match my color scheme. Rubber grommets are all over the place in this case, which is a lovely thing to see, and the recessed right panel means you can stuff plenty of cables down there. A route for your graphics card power cable is also provided, as well as a CPU power cable / fan cable duo, whatever you want to put up there, up top. Speaking of which, this large bracket right here is completely removable, so if desired, the optical drive tray up front can be removed to allow up to a 360mm radiator to be stored up top. Technically, a 420mm radiator is supported, but good luck with that. Since the top is the only filtered area, these 2 fans were my intake fans. Behind the interior frame is a very delicately weaved slew of cables, and thanks to Phanteks included Velcro straps, had no problem routing the thick cables from my power supply. This and the large window are my 2 favorite things about this case. 2 bracketed hard disk or solid state drive mounts come included down below, and are also completely toolless. You can also get the sense for how much empty cable storage space is down there. That is so nice to see. Hardware assembly overall was clean and efficient. Full-size ATX motherboards are natively supported, graphics cards as big as your shoe will fit with room to spare, and even the most elaborate custom water loops will fit without any issues. You'll be able to show off your fancy power supply towards the bottom left of the window, and your favorite solid-state drive to the bottom right. Your friends and family will have front row seats to your work of art, thanks to the acrylic version of the Phanteks Enthoo Pro M. Just add a few LEDs, tune the fans, and throw in a touch of cable management. What a beaut. So if the case in this video has caught your attention and you want to know more, check out Phanteks' website regarding this case in particular in the description of this video. Also remember that these reviews are entirely unsponsored. I don't get paid for doing anything like this, and I also don't get these things free. I have to order them myself out of the Science Studio budget, so no one's telling me to say anything. These are my raw impressions about how I feel about this case in particular and all the other reviews of all the other products I've ever done. I'm not paid, I'm not sponsored, just me, just one guy, and yeah, a bunch of technology and science stuff. It's pretty cool. So if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, but if you didn't, give me a thumbs down and let me know why in the comments below. Be sure to leave comments and suggestions for future videos and start discussions down below. Let me know how you feel about this case in particular. Also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this. This is Science Studio. Thanks for learning with us.